Hi, good evening.
Unmute myself. So
Oh,
good.
okay.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, pretty good.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Gonna
Let
grab a
me,
pen. I'm gonna grab a pen. I'll be right there.
okay, sounds good. Sounds good. And hi, Leticia. Hi, Dr. Raz.
Warren,
Okay. Hmm? Oh, Dr. Raz, I love your background. I love
Good.
it.
you want to be there?
Very
Yeah,
tranquil.
Yeah, I think that's
looks
from the island of Ithaca in Greece.
okay. The water looks refreshing.
Oh my gosh, it's so clear. You can even see the rocks down there.
Hmm.
So you be in a boat and look down and see the rocks on the bottom. How
Okay.
cool it is.
Is that a picture you took
Oh
or
yeah. Yeah,
okay.
we're going again this year. It's the island where my in-laws are from. We still have relatives that they summer there, so we kind of synchronize ourselves a bit, which makes
Okay.
a lot of fun. And I mean, just try snorkeling in that water.
Okay.
But it used to be that it was like being in a giant aquarium and there's noticeably fewer fish.
Oh,
But I'm talking about 50 years ago.
okay. All right.
So it is very real change.
Okay. And we're just going to wait for more members to show up. That's all we're waiting for before we start. So we'll give them a few minutes. And then, John, do you have a PowerPoint or anything are you going to need to be able to share your
I
screen?
don't have
Okay.
anything. I emailed you some stuff
Right.
earlier today. I guess that's what
Right.
I have prepared at this point.
Okay. All right. And I just sent that to Debbie for distribution.
But
Um,
I'm a chatty Cathy, so
oh, that's all
I'm
right.
able to talk. And if you have any questions,
Okay.
Cool.
And your colleague is still coming though, right?
she should be. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll text her.
Okay. So I'll see. Yeah, I was going to ask Debbie if Yeah, I didn't notice that early enough. So it's like I just asked Debbie and I was hoping she would be here now so I could re-ask to submit it to put some brochures because I don't think even I will be able to share a screen with that. Okay,
Yeah, I
thank you
used
for,
to be. I was tempted to ask to come by. My private practice space was on the same floor where Rosa Bramber we used to rent off of her and Dr. Carcamo.
hmm
You guys are still on 50th Street?
Yep.
Yeah. I was going to pick up my mail, so I
hmm
think it would be good. Hi, Sasha.
Hi, how is everyone? Sorry, I'm a little late.
That's all right. We haven't started yet. We're just waiting for more members to show up. We're good. So,
I think Amparo definitely is planning to be here.
okay. Okay, so let's give it a few and then we can get started. You know what though?
John, what does MHPWQ stand for?
That's the acronym for the agencies. It's Mental Health Providers of Western Queens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're a non-for-profit. We host several programs within the community. We have 3 behavioral health community sites, one in Sunnyside, one in Woodside, one in Jackson Heights. Um, Also at the behavioral health clinics, we're in about 15 or 16 public schools. Then we have a chemical dependency program that's within the community board neighborhood over on Woodside Avenue and 62nd Street. We also have a behavioral health clinic there as well. We took over the old Catholic Charities when they closed. We have a case management program that does home visits to people in the community and checks up on them and helps them with entitlements, and designed for hospital prevention as well. And
You're,
we have
you're a mental health provider yourself? What's your background?
oh yeah, I'm a social worker. I've been working at the agency. Oh, my ears are ringing from the Big Bang, but I've been here since I was a student in the mid '90s, and
Yeah, good for you.
yeah, and Sasha as well. Sasha
Okay.
came into the program. She's considerably younger than me, but she's been around maybe almost as long as I have.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're very
So-
committed to our agency.
Okay, so why don't we officially start the meeting and then you can put all of that information back on the record
Sure.
after that. That's fine.
Yeah.
And Dr. Raz and Leticia, I just sent you the flyers personally, so that
Good.
you at least can follow since I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll have that. Welcome everybody. Hopefully other members will be joining, but welcome to tonight's the Health Human Services Education on House and Shelter Committee meeting. And so tonight we have speakers from the mental health providers of Western Queens. So you can go ahead and introduce yourselves and yeah.
Yeah, my name is John Lavin. I'm the Director of Clinical Services for Mental Health Providers of Western Queens. Sasha, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Sasha Kobo, and I am the Director of Financial Services at Mental Health Providers of Western Queens.
Okay. There was a question. You're by the Wendy's, right? So where are you located exactly?
Within the Woodside area, or
In
yeah,
the woods. You have
yeah,
gifted.
we
Yeah, go
have
ahead.
a chemical dependency program that's located at 6207 Woodside Avenue. It's on the 4th floor within the zip of 11377. And we also have a behavioral health clinic across the street from there known as Western Queens Consultation Center at 6120 Woodside Avenue at the same zip code. So yeah, I'm really happy, and I thank you, Ms. Springer, for the invitation for Sasha and I to come on and talk tonight. We feel very passionate about the services that we provide our consumers at the agency and for the community. And we're talking about 2 distinct programs that we have that are both under the auspices of New York State Office of Alcohol and Substance Abuse, also known as OASIS. And those 2 programs are also have their contracts, I believe, Sasha, if I'm right, managed by the New York Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. And they're both, long-standing programs. The prevention program, which is currently in Jackson Heights, is about 11 years old. And the program in Woodside, the Western Queens Recovery Services, has been in existence since 1990. So, that was one of my first jobs at the agency, is working as a counselor at that program. And that program, it serves adults, it serves, adolescents for drug and alcohol dependency. It also serves significant others, children of alcoholics, or somebody who's dependent on chemicals, or, a spouse or a partner or a caregiver. And, those services are an individual, they have individual counseling. They go to groups. The groups could be problem-solving groups, issues groups, psychoeducational groups where they learn about the dangers of drugs and alcohol. We see some clients that may have been arrested for their first or second or first or more DWI charge. And we have, some that are, that are referred by the family court, maybe the criminal court, mostly misdemeanor issues that are related to their usage. Separately, we have a prevention program where we do education in the schools in the Western Queens area. We're in several schools there. The one that would probably be in the Woodside area would be IS 125, which is on 47th Avenue and 47th Street. In the schools, they're providing psychoeducation about the dangers of drugs and alcohol. And they also have a small counseling component where they are able to see people inside that, want to talk about it. Perhaps it's more of a problem, or the parents want a little more face time with a prevention counselor. So we're able to provide counseling on site. What's been a struggle is, well, both these programs, I think, have struggled at some point. The recovery services one has been in existence for a long time, and for the most part has thrived. In COVID, we did have some struggles, but the program is really back on the beam and functioning well. The prevention program historically always functioned well, but we're met with fiscal challenges. There's a finite budget for this program. And with that budget that Sasha has to manage, it's been just an arduous task to try to hire people that many of them who are bilingual, that we can offer competitive salaries to. And that has proven to be almost impossible given the budget that we've had. And as a result of that, it has led to a lot of turnover of staff that are needed to function within that prevention program. Additionally, the psychoeducational materials, they are very prescriptive. They want us to use certain materials, and the materials themselves cannot be duplicated. There's copyrights around them. You have to purchase modules, and they're pretty costly. I guess within the last year and a half to 2 years, we've been letting it known to our oversight agencies that it has become fiscally challenging to continue to run this program. However, we feel it's a very important program where we wanted to keep it going because, prevention, with drugs and alcohols in addressing, teens and youth is it's paramount, especially now, especially with, amount of deadly drugs that are out on the streets and there's easy access to. So we had, besieged the powers that be that we needed some additional funding so that we could staff the program and, compete in a very competitive market, especially post-COVID recruitment market has been very difficult. And, we're renting space in Jackson Heights, which is, maybe from the community board, renting commercial space in Queens is very, very hard. One of the reasons we were in Catholic Charities is we had a fire in the Brunson building in Jackson Heights, and we were able to secure Catholic Charities site because they were closing. But prior to that, I was looking around for commercial real estate with my executive director at the time, and we were running into other people from the other building that we had the fire in. I mean, it was like a mad world. We were running around trying to secure a spot. So, we could not find any cheaper space for the prevention program. However, it was becoming very evident that we would not be able to continue, paying rent in the long term there. So Sasha Cobo and my current executive director, Sarah McQuaid, with collaboration of the city, decided that maybe since these two programs are under the same auspices, under the same regulatory authorities, that we could have them come into the existing space that we have in Woodside, in the office that we have. We have ample room enough for the program where it's not compromised. Since so many of the services happen remotely in the Western Queens schools, that is really not really a consideration. That's going to happen outside. I shouldn't say remotely. I should say out in the field, in the schools. And the counseling can be brought in within the confines of the Woodside Clinic. I guess an added bonus to that is if a youngster is having more considerable issues with drugs and alcohol, there could be a warm handoff within the same roof to provide these youngsters services in the chemical dependency program, since it's set up to treat teens and adolescents. So when we have city's approval, I believe, at this point, but they definitely want the community board's blessing. So again, I thank you for hosting us tonight and considering this possibility for us. And I guess we can, the prevention program, just, in a nutshell, it has the education, it helps reduce conflicts within the families, it helps with dealing with negative influences, peer pressure, bullying, teach resilience skills, interpersonal and communication skills. And the chemical dependency program, it's been operating and running very successfully for a while. So, I see it as a good collaboration. But I don't know if there's any questions, concerns, clarifications.
Yeah, we had some questions. I'm going to actually start with the ones that Leticia put in the chat. Do you want to ask them or should I read them out, Leticia? Okay. So first question is, how does schools establish a partnership with the organization? And then the next question is, have you turned to MSW programs to get interns for their clinical hours?
Sure. Yeah. So, our collaboration with the schools, is long going. We had a initiative by OMH, the New York State Office of Mental Health, some years ago, called Child Clinic Plus, where they wanted us to come into the public schools and where they would assign us a classroom. And instead of the youngster going to homeroom or gym, they can have a psychotherapy session within that setting in the school. We really were excited about it because we know it reduces stigma. We had, we do work with, we're not-for-profit. We do work with, undocumented people as well. So it seemed like a safe option for them. And we were doing this. It was a deficit funding program, and many other non-for-profits in the area, Child Center in New York, and I believe Jewish Board, a bunch of them were also involved in this initiative. At some point, the deficit funding ended, and our neighboring agencies, who I think I just mentioned, they decided to pull the plug because they weren't getting the deficit funding. We decided to stay committed to the schools and stay in there. So we've been working in schools, and unsolicited, we've been asked to come into other schools. And we continue to do that. So when an RFP came available for the prevention program, we pursued it. Since we already had a history in the schools, it was not old hat to us. It's a different type of program, but it was, we knew kind of the groundwork that needed to be done, that it would need to meet inspection and regulatory compliance. So we began the prevention services there. So that's how we work with the schools. It's pretty much informal. And you have to work out a lot of kinks. There's a culture of our agencies, there's a culture of the schools. If they come into the therapist, can you break up a fight in the lunchroom? Well, that's, not in our area. Our area is to either provide the behavioral health services or the prevention services.
Okay.
Uh,
So then Leticia had added, so if a school wanted to partner today, partner with you today, how would that happen? So would it be just like reaching out to your organization, or how would that go about?
Yeah, they basically, that's happened in the past. I guess, Sasha, that's how it goes. They reach out. We might sign some type of agreement with the school. We have to get approval from whoever the licensing entity is. They may or may not have, they may ask for floor plans, or they may decide to come out and look at the school itself. But the prevention program that I'm talking about here is already established in the schools, and that's going to be um, unchanged. Whether we are able to acquire more schools or other schools request our services, that's still a possibility. But that aspect of the program isn't changing. The aspect of what would be changing is, rather than it being housed in Jackson Heights, we're requesting it to be housed in one of our other sites within Woodside. And the counseling services would happen on that site.
And then in terms of, so the other question Leticia had asked, and this had to do in terms of like with the staffing issues, because you said that it's hard to hire and retain. So do
Yeah.
you sort of use the MSW programs to get interns? So
We
they,
do get interns. I mean,
okay,
you still need somebody to supervise the
supervise, yeah,
interns. I think one thing that I failed to mention is we had hired a MSW now to do the counseling. So we have staff ready to do the counseling within the confines of the Woodside Clinic. And it'll be hybrid. They'll be working within the clinic, and they'll be working within the prevention program. That was another way of making it fiscally possible. And that trained professional will be able to assess whether they need to be stepped up to the outpatient recovery services program or remain within the prevention program. I don't know if I answered everything, but that was essentially one of the clinics is, yes, by Wendy's. That's our Sunnyside Behavioral Health Clinic. Yeah, it used to be above South Pole. South Pole is gone. Now there's a 99-cent store, and we're still there.
Hmm.
And how did the schools establish, and how?
yeah, so we were asking.
Yeah, yeah. And we do host interns. We get interns from NYU, from Yeshiva, from Fordham, from Touro. And I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. I'm sure there's other ones
Okay, another school.
that we facilitate, yeah, partake.
Did Dr. Raz or Amparo, did you have questions?
Sure.
I didn't have a question, but I did want to comment as a public health professional. I'm very grateful that these services might be provided to our community. So I'm glad and support, more of a presence in Woodside.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, I'm curious about, I mean, it all sounds very good, and I know I'm a psychologist. My son is a social worker. My daughter-in-law is a social worker, and he runs the behavioral health programs out in Brooklyn. And I mean, I'm curious, and this is perhaps a Sasha question. I mean, who's paying for stuff? I mean, are you working off of grants? Do people have to, and how many people are coming through the schools, or are they coming mostly through schools, or, or what?
So, that the prevention contract, we're in direct contract with OASIS and New York City Department of Health. So that contract is 100% funded by New York City. We create a budget, they give us a designated funding amount, and we create the budgets using that funding. There is no billing associated with it, because you know, counseling, it's not a billable service. And also it's supposed to be a program, short-term program that's supposed to you know, be offered to the community, and just be there to offer the services. As far as what was the other part of the
I
question?
was curious, sort of where most of the people are coming through the school system, and people, say, families of students, or is it, you know, more broadly?
The prevention
Right.
program is
Yeah.
strictly
Sorry.
schools, right? Sorry? Yeah, I'm sorry, Sasha.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the prevention program is strictly schools, and the counseling is brought in on site to the community clinic. In the other program, the recovery services program, we get referrals from all over. We get referrals sometimes from inpatient rehabs, detoxes, the hospital, sometimes ACS, foster care, preventive care, and a lot of referrals, you know, from, if someone had a DWI, they get a list of DWI providers, or if someone just wants to seek services, they're going to sometimes just look within their own community. Also, a lot of our clinicians are bilingual and bicultural. So I guess we get some word of mouth referrals. What's that word, Sasha? Is it bochinche? That's my gringo word of the day. So we get a lot of word of mouth referrals. Yeah.
What's a DWI provider?
Oh, driving while intoxicated. So if someone was arrested for a DWI, they may be at first required to go to a drinking and driving program that may occur at somewhere like, I believe, Queensborough College has a drinking and driving program, and they're borough specific. And if someone is going to those programs and missing days, or they fail this exam, not fail it, but if they score on an exam called the RIASI exam, and it's red flagged that they may have more of a significant problem, they may be referred to the chemical dependency program for an evaluation. And that evaluation, would include, interviewing the client about their usage, maybe a spouse or a caregiver or a partner or an employer. They may also, with their permission, submit a sample for urinalysis to test for drugs and alcohol. And then the assessment usually, I think, is conducted in 2 or 3 parts. The clinical team meets on it, and it may be recommended that they would benefit from treatment. Treatment is voluntary. They can refuse that. There may be a legal consequence, I'm not sure, for them by doing that, but that's how DWI referrals work. If it's a first-time DWI client and there's no issues with their treatment, I mean, they come and participate, seem to have good insight, have negative toxicologies. The program is 4 months. Somebody who has more than one DWI, they may be expected to attend the program for a year.
And who actually pays for that?
For the recovery services program, they may utilize their HMO or Medicaid or sliding scale if they are without insurance.
That is.
And at times we do pro bono too.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. Now, you mentioned something about community board support. What
Mhm.
is it what would that support? What form of support are you looking for?
Well, that's a good question. Our entity Oasis said that if we are going to, invite our existing program into one of our other existing programs, that we should consult with the community board and make them aware. So it's a little I've done this before. It's been a while. Sorry.
OASIS is an acronym for something?
Yeah, Office of Alcohol, Substance Abuse, Addiction Services.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm
Yeah.
spitting out acronyms like I'm a 50s DJ, but yeah, it's that's the acronym.
Okay, so, and I mean, why would the community board be I mean, the community board, I can only imagine we're supportive of these kinds of services and help. Why is it, why would we, why are they asking, is it mostly just a matter of communication, letting us know that these services are available? Or are you seeking to have us try to publicize in some way and help get the word out, or what?
Yeah, these are all good questions and concerns. I mean, yeah, I think Sasha and I go, why do they want us to do this as well when we first heard? But you know, I think they feel it's responsible to make the community board aware. And I don't know if the community board anybody is ever asking about these services. We certainly have open doors. Um, but I guess the New York State Office of Alcohol and Substance Abuse want us to make the community board aware of our plans. That's basically what they said in a vague fashion.
Okay. So, I mean, among other things, I mean, we actually are doing some outreach, I think, fairly currently about finding out what community agencies see as a need that would be important and with this capital and expense categories and so on. I mean, so you should be on that list and, have some input perhaps. And maybe, I mean, what would be on your wish list if we actually had power? We have influence, but I don't know that we have power.
Yeah, I believe our recovery services program, I mean, we certainly are building relationships with legal entities. I think that had been elusive for a while. I mean, I don't think we have a big ask. I mean, we do get certainly a lot of people looking for our services, but we welcome the opportunity to be a resource and be made aware. I guess as far as the funding goes for this prevention program, I mean, I guess that would be our big concern is that they're underfunded, you know. And if I wanted to have somebody who is a licensed professional, I need to pay a competitive salary, especially if I'm asking them to come in person, you know. It's hard to put lightning back in a bottle. We've lost a lot of clinicians because we want to be a brick and mortar agency where people can come in, you know, and it's hard to compete in a competitive market with low salaries. So that's been a challenge for us in an age when, these services are more in demand than ever.
Do you ever have provision for hiring people to come in on a very, limited hours basis? I mean, I used to work at the College of Optometry and because we were a state agency, their health insurance was especially appealing. But in addition, there were a lot of the optometrists, many of them were alums or whatever, and they would come in one day a week or whatever. And so there were many benefits for this kind of thing. And I'm wondering if I mean, there are some local people. I mean, I think of my son travels to Brooklyn to do.
Yeah, no. Well, I think it's the salary. I think there are a lot of people that live in this area that, have these degrees, but if they don't have to leave their house, we have to compete with that,
Mhm.
And I have a private practice as well. That's where when I was I was telling everybody before when I was in person, I was in the building where the community board was. I was in
Mhm.
Dr. Carcamo's office, and I think Miss Brambleweed has it, and there's the I'm not sure of the Hispanic name of the program that's also renting space in there. But we were in there, and I'm able to do telehealth now with adults. But if you're asking youngsters to do telehealth, especially something that's related to substances and drug education, it's a very daunting task to do it, to do it remote.
Oh, sure. We could see there's a lot of
Mhm.
issues in that sense, but
Okay.
and so I guess coming back to how we might help. I mean, we're famous for cranking out letters of support, and I think probably most of us are, how could somebody not, support what you guys are doing?
Right.
And so, I mean, what sort of what would the form of this kind of support or letter be?
Yeah, I mean, well, what we could do is we could draft something if that would be helpful. But like I said, I don't want it to be prescriptive. If the community board wanted to draft a letter, I mean, essentially would say that it would be in support of the prevention program, um, co-locating with our recovery services program.
And those are the ones that would be where would that, is that on Woodside Ave that you're
That's
talking?
on Woodside Avenue,
Yeah,
it's 6207.
Yeah, so that's right near the entrance to the train station, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's right near the dead end of the Long Island Railroad. It's a rust brick building. It almost looks like a firehouse because it's got the 3 garage doors there.
Yeah,
The Age Center of Queens is also our neighbors there. And I don't know if everybody remembers Walter McCaffrey used to have his office
oh,
there.
really? Huh.
Yeah. So, we've been in there a long time. So,
Mm.
we know it's a good space. And we see it as a beacon of hope so that if the other program could be in there.
Mhm, mhm.
And what kind of time frame are you looking at though in terms of co-locating? Like when are you hoping to consolidate?
Sasha, I don't know.
we were hoping for July 1st.
July 1st, okay.
We've already submitted the application required by OASIS, filled it out and everything. Now they're just waiting on the letter of support. And I guess what they'll do is that they'll come out and take a look again at the space. And then after that, we'll get the counseling, the counseling license sent over to Woodside. And then we could start.
Okay.
And I'll reconfigure, I have the budget all reconfigured
Okay.
and everything. So yeah.
Okay. Amparo?
Could I make an official motion to,
Sure.
all right, so a motion to send a letter of support for the program.
Okay. Go ahead, Roz.
A second.
Second. Okay. And then show of hands. Community board. I'm in support. Leticia?
Oops.
Did we lose Leticia? I know Leticia was off-site, so okay. Say that again. Oh, the motion was to write a letter of support
Of the
for the
co-locating
co-location.
programs. And the
Okay, so we're in support. Okay,
Great, thank you.
I know you suggested you could draft something because what would be helpful is who we're sending this to, like the address for Oasis and all of that, or whatever information, who we're directing this to. Information about where the site is, like the address and where you're relocating to and the time frame and all of that. So whatever information you can provide, we'll write something
And
up.
send it to qn02@cb.nyc.gov.
I think is that the one I have originally?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
great.
Thank you, Debbie.
And
You're
be sure
welcome.
to name the 2 programs, what the programs are. that
Yeah.
are
Sure.
Yeah.
the
So
official
that
names.
yeah. And then we'll get that done ahead of the July 1st, okay?
Great.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, appreciate, first of all, you making the board aware because you emailed and let us know, and then also for coming tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Okay.
us.
Okay.
You're very
I'll let you
welcome.
get on with other business. Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good
Thank
night.
you for your.
You
Thank
too.
Good night,
you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
all right. Okay, so what is it? Old business?
Do we have old business?
We have old business. The only old business I'm gonna bring up, the new business, we can start thinking about like whatever the budgetary, capital expense, budgetary things, and whether we come up with anything tonight or just think about that for September, that's fine. But the old business I think is gonna be like, I'm sorry, getting back to this aviation high school tour. Dates. I need dates to propose, and I hope it's not too late. The principal's still willing to do this. I know 18 worked for Andrea with Sunnyside Community Services, but I was gonna ask for alternative dates because I know 18 doesn't seem to work for everyone. Okay. Oh,
Looking at my calendar.
okay. I said, okay.
What time of day are you thinking about? What?
I'm not sure what works. I was trying to get like a sense from the principal, but he was like, whenever. So it was like, I don't know. But I also know that they're like in the middle of finals or what, or starting that or whatever, regents exams, and they're during their exam period. So I'm hoping it's still good. Because it would be nice to do this before the semester is out. But he sort
Sure.
of threw it
And
back
is
in.
it possible for us to get in there like before our meeting on the 18th? Was that kind of the thinking?
That's what I was hoping but I know the 18th did not necessarily work because Roz, I know the 18th was tight for you because of your
Oh,
other.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it was. And then I know the 18 doesn't work for Leticia at all. So it was like, that's what I
Okay.
was trying to
17th,
see. Huh?
Tuesday, the 17th?
No, the only dates that had worked for Andrea that she had said was the 10th and the 18th. So now I reached out again today to see if there are any other dates besides that. She had said the 10th and the 18th. And I know the 10th doesn't work for you, Amparo, and I thought the 10th was close. This is when I was still trying to get a sense from people the night of our community board meeting.
Yeah.
And I should have
Yeah,
told, I'm
the
sorry,
10th
should have.
is tomorrow and
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
not
around.
happening, right? The 10th is out. So now I'm trying to get, because like because Andrea was going through her calendar, I was like, nope, not this date, not this date. She had like meetings piled up, up the wazoo. So it's like, she said the 10th and then she said the 18th. So now I'm seeing if there's any other date that works. And then I'll get in touch with the principal, and I'm hoping it works. I don't know. I know that the school ends the 26th, but then they have like the 30th is like the last day for the administrators when I was looking on their 2024, 2025 calendar.
Okay, on that, the 18th, if we could do in the morning, like between 1 and 3 o'clock, I would be able to pull myself out to go to a meeting.
Okay, I'm sorry, on the 18th it would be what?
1 and 3 o'clock. I have a virtual patient that I could move around in the afternoon, but I think that's the prudent thing would be 1 and 3. And, that is during sort of school hours, maybe it's better.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is, so as soon as Andrea answers, because I think it's good that Sunnyside Community Services is included. I guess even if not all of us from this committee can go, but it's like as long as like, and then I wasn't sure about like because we'd also invited the engagement committee too. So I'm not sure like Patrick or Tanya what would work for them either. So it's just like this is hard to yeah. Because I'm not in direct communication per se, so it's kind of like, and I don't know, maybe we should have done a when to meet. I don't know. I just, so this is kind of like, feel like I'm pulling dates out of the air a little bit. But I'm gonna see what works for Andrea and then just propose a bunch of dates. I'm trying to get a conversation going. That's all
That
I am
works.
on engagement for
Hmm?
whatever. I said I'm on engagement.
Oh, you're engaged, so you could be the engagement representative or something, because it was like something to write about, because, and then I'm thinking like it would be nice, like, and I have to, I'm behind, but trying to give, like, I know like how we give the meeting links to to Tanya and Patrick to put in the newsletter.
Yeah. Well, similarly with this Western Queens mental
Yeah.
health providers, I mean, people need to know that these
Yeah.
are available and that they work with for students. I guess it's essentially covered by their budget. It's free,
Mm-hmm.
as it were. But for and for others, they'll work with insurance however necessary. Sounds like.
So Yeah, no, I agree with you. So it might be when I send it, they'll get links for a bunch of different meetings, but it'll be nice so that people can look at them over the summer when we're on break.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Incidentally, when we write letters, are you going to the board, the web page where you go under projects, I believe, and then it's letters and stuff to make sure that they're getting posted there?
Okay. Well,
That,
some of them I know I'm behind, so I'm like, I know we have to write some of these things that we owe. So part of
Yeah.
my thing is like
Okay.
I want to get everything done,
You
like
have
everything that's
homework.
I have homework and everything that's outstanding I want to get done this month because it's like I want us to have like, we start next
A real vacation.
afresh. But yeah, so there's some things that might be why you don't see it posted is because it has yet to be written. But I'm gonna take care of everything that's outstanding that we had promised throughout this year. And then this month. And then we'll just have that. But yes, but this one, that's the plan. That is the plan. And then do that. Yeah. So
I think that the reason that I am particularly concerned about that is that allows us to publicize for the board because once it's on the website, it's something it's a citation.
yeah. Okay. Will do. So I will be working on that and we'll get that done and posted everything that's outstanding. That we promised, go through these minutes and look. That's what happens, go through the minutes. Oh, that's right. That's what we promised. Gotta do this, gotta do that. So we'll get that done. But yeah. Okay, so so I think so I think hopefully I'll see about Andrea. Hopefully I can get a response from her by tomorrow and then we can continue this conversation about a date because I would really love to take that tour as soon
Yeah,
as possible. Um,
great.
okay. And then any other old business?
I was wondering if the Hofstra Northwell School got back to us on potentially. Yeah, and they're starting this September.
Yeah,
They'll
I have not given up. So if anybody has any other ideas about contacting Leticia, your idea to reach out to CEC 30, and then they're the ones who provided me with the email address for the principal, but I have yet to hear back. So, and I don't know if maybe she's waiting until the school actually opens. I don't know.
I'm wondering if I should walk down there.
Okay, that could be. You could
in September.
take the baby with you and say, "Hey," I don't know. Anything that'll, that could be because because I know that's been a long-standing request that we wanted to hear, and I think that I would be excited, and I would like to be able to catch them too when they're getting ready to do like the next round of applicants because I know that it was like by the time we were inviting them, it was too late. They already had their roster. But I would love to be able because then we can advertise, like you said, Dr. Roz, like this opportunity is available, and yeah.
It would be interesting to see if they're aware of the things that DOT is doing, like the traffic calming, pedestrian island on Northern Boulevard, which means that people who want to make a left turn from Northern going to have to go around a little bit. I mean,
Mhm.
the drivers, we're not talking about a big burdensome, but a change.
Mhm.
And the fact that it's really very much driven and motivated by the fact that there's a school there and whether they have to, maybe they also should put in speed cameras and stuff there. I wonder if they get to weigh in on that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So connection with the transportation committee.
Yeah, that's there I am.
Right, there you
My
are. Okay.
three committees.
Okay.
There definitely, I would think that the pedestrian island and one of the issues in transportation was, will they make the bike lane that goes in front of the school more harden the protection? Because people like they're, if you think about it, even though these are high school students, there still are a certain number of parents that we may need or want to bring their child in a car, but what's the provision? And I think, and for buses to come in, where do the buses pull up? Well, apparently they pull up off of 37th Ave. There's a little opening, it's hard to even find. And that's going to be their entryway.
Mhm.
I have to say, it's in marked contrast. I had the opportunity this weekend. My granddaughter did a couple of ballet performances at and some Indian name, a school, high school, massive high school with a massive auditorium and a massive parking lot. And when I saw it, I said, there's not even a bike rack here. There's nothing. I mean, but they
Mhm.
provide for cars, and apparently the bikes, there are some racks on the other side of the building.
Okay.
It's such a
Okay.
different world.
Yeah. All things to consider. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other old business? Okay. New
No.
business? Oh, go ahead, Dr. Ross.
No, I said I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. And new business in terms of, I don't know if people want to take time to think about the budgetary. Yeah, I don't know if anybody has anything that they want.
I don't have any pressing thoughts about
Okay.
budget requests right now, but I'll
Okay.
take the summer to think about that. And I'm looking forward to hopefully having a speaker from the YMCA on September when we
Yeah, okay.
circle back.
Okay, and so thank you for making that connection, Amparo. And I reached out today to see, trying to line up speakers from now. So it's like, okay, because September comes, once the summer goes by, September comes on real fast, and then you're like, okay. So we're trying to like take
I
care of that.
completely understand, and that's why I'm trying to support.
Have you taken a look at the calendar to make sure we don't run into any of like the Jewish holidays or Columbus Day? Yes,
Oh,
like
I only looked up to September.
calling.
I'll look and see. But I know, because we come early. It's like everything's coming early in September because usually we don't meet until like even the full board meeting is after Labor Day, and we're meeting like it's the week like somehow we're meeting like
It is the same week, the full
it's
board, it is
yeah.
the same week, but
So, but yeah, I'll look going forward. I only had looked at September today because I wanted to make sure I had the date right for the person from YMCA.
good. So that's on whatever the regular.
Yeah, that's the aim, to be able to do that. Yeah, and line up so that we have that.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and then we're also planning to meet. We're trying to arrange a meeting with Patrick and Tanya to see about other possible collabs with our committee. So
Good.
so that's another thing we have to get straight. So okay,
Lots of
okay,
things happening.
lots of
Shall
things.
I make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, please.
You need me to second it, right?
Yes, okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a good evening, good week. See you on the 18th, right? Land Use Committee, where we
Yes.
have to make our vote. Okay.
Yes, in person.
In person.
Right, yeah,
Yep. Okay.
okay,
All right. Take care,
Good
everybody.
night.
good night.
Okay. All right. Bye.